In the historic city of Krakow, a chilling mystery unfolded that left an entire nation horrified. The disappearance of a young student, Katarina Zada, turned into a nightmare when her remains were discovered in the most grotesque manner imaginable. Join us as we delve into the haunting details of this real-life horror story, where the search for justice continues to this day. Katarina Zada, a 23-year-old university student in Krakow, Poland, was known for her quiet demeanor and dedication to her studies. She had a close-knit group of friends and was especially close to her mother, who she often called for support and advice. In late November 1998, Katarzyna failed to attend her classes, and her mother's calls went unanswered. Friends grew concerned when she missed a meeting they had planned for weeks. As days turned into weeks, the worry became unbearable, and her mother reported her disappearance to the police. The Krakow police, initially suspecting that Katarzyna might have left voluntarily, began their investigation by interviewing her friends and family. They combed through her belongings, searching for any clues that could explain her sudden disappearance. Her friends described her as a kind and gentle person with no known enemies, which deepened the mystery. Despite extensive searches and public appeals, no leads surfaced. The case began to grow cold, leaving her family in despair. Months passed without any breakthroughs. On January 6, 1999, a routine inspection on the Vistula River took a horrifying turn. A crew working on a ship noticed something entangled in the propeller. Upon closer inspection, they discovered a human skin suit, meticulously crafted from the torso of a female body. The police were immediately called, and the remains were identified as those of Katarzyna Zada through DNA testing. The forensic examination revealed the extent of the horror Katarzyna had endured. Her limbs and head had been removed, and her skin had been carefully peeled off to create a macabre suit. The precision of the cut suggested a perpetrator with a deep understanding of anatomy. The police were stunned, and the public horrified, as news of the gruesome discovery spread. This revelation shifted the investigation into a full-scale hunt for a sadistic murderer. As the media got hold of the story, public outrage and fear surged. Journalists from across the country descended on Krakow, and the case of Katarzyna Zada became a national sensation. Newspapers splashed headlines about the human skin suit killer, and television networks ran continuous updates. The public's demand for justice and answers put immense pressure on the Krakow police, who were now under intense scrutiny. The police began to explore all possible leads, interviewing anyone who had known Katarzyna. They also looked into similar unsolved cases, hoping to find a connection. Several suspects emerged, including individuals with a history of violent behavior or psychiatric issues. However, each lead eventually turned into a dead end, and the frustration within the investigative team grew. Despite the intense efforts, the identity of the murderer remained elusive. A team of criminal profilers was brought in to develop a psychological profile of the killer. They concluded that the perpetrator was likely someone with deep-seated psychological issues, possibly a psychopath with a history of violent fantasies. The precision with which the skin suit was created suggested an individual with a medical or anatomical background. The profile helped narrow down the search, but it was still a needle in a haystack scenario. The citizens of Krakow were gripped by fear and paranoia. The thought that such a heinous individual could be walking among them created a pervasive sense of unease. Community meetings were held to discuss safety measures, and people became more vigilant about their surroundings. The case also sparked debates about the adequacy of the police response and the need for better protection of young women. As years passed, technological advancements offered new hope. The police revisited the case with fresh eyes, employing DNA analysis techniques that were not available at the time of Katarzyna's disappearance. They re-examined the evidence, hoping to uncover new clues. Although these efforts brought renewed hope to Katarzyna's family and the public, they still did not lead to a breakthrough in identifying the murderer. In 2009, a dedicated cold case unit was established within the Krakow Police Department. This team took over the investigation, meticulously reviewing every aspect of the case. They interviewed former suspects, reanalyzed forensic evidence, and explored new leads. Their relentless pursuit of justice brought them closer to understanding the intricacies of the crime, but the identity of the perpetrator continued to elude them. In 2016, a breakthrough came when a forensic pathologist noticed similarities between Katarzyna's case and another unsolved murder. The modus operandi was strikingly similar, suggesting the possibility of a serial killer. This lead reinvigorated the investigation, and the police began to compare notes with other jurisdictions. The possibility that Katarzyna's murderer had other victims added a new dimension to the case. As the investigation continued, Katarzyna's family held on to hope, participating in public appeals and collaborating with law enforcement. Their relentless quest for justice kept the case in the public eye. Community support played a significant role, as volunteers and activists organized events to honor Katarzyna's memory and raise awareness about the importance of solving cold cases. The case of Katarzyna Zada left an indelible mark on Krakow. It prompted changes in police procedures, emphasizing the importance of immediate action in missing person cases. It also led to increased support services for victims' families, ensuring they received the help they needed during such traumatic times. Katarzyna's tragic story became a symbol of the fight against violent crime and the need for societal vigilance. Despite the advances in forensic science and the tireless efforts of law enforcement, the murderer of Katarzyna Zada has never been found. The case remains open, a chilling reminder of the darkness that can lurk in society. Katarzyna's family, though devastated, continue to advocate for her, hoping that one day justice will be served. Her story remains a testament to the enduring impact of violence and the resilience of those left behind. The tragic case of Katarzyna Zada is a stark reminder of the evil that can lurk in the shadows. Her story has left an indelible mark on Krakow and continues to haunt the public's memory. If you found this story compelling, please give it a thumbs up and share it to keep Katarzyna's memory alive.